Hello, my name is Nick. And the affirmative significance claim dealt with the fact that the cost of community college is becoming too much for students today in community colleges. And the responses are, in reality, many students, especially the lower income ones, don't even have to worry about tuition costs. According to the New York Times, between 60 and 75% of college students at public and private nonprofit institutions already receive some amount of financial aid. And in some cases, $50,000 and $60,000 charges are mostly covered and reduced to as little as $4,000 for low-income families. Also, much of the incredible amount of debt that university students accumulate is from things other than tuition, such as room and board, food, transportation, and textbooks, almost all of which are not covered from financial aid. According to the student loan report, even students that have their tuition paid for still take out an average of thousands of dollars in loans a year to pay for housing and other resources, resulting in large amounts of debt that is completely unrelated to tuition costs. So free college tuition will not address the astronomical cost of room and board and all the other things. These pieces of evidence show that these costs are in many cases where the bulk of the debt comes from. So it is wrong to say that eliminating the tuition costs would help this. And then for the inherency claim, they basically said that the problem is the financial barrier, and that the current high cost of education discourages people from pursuing higher education, and removing the cost would solve the problem. Now, the claim that free community college tuition would help people in low-income families attend is untrue. A September 2016 report by the Manhattan Institute showed that students in the lowest income brackets already receive enough federal and state grant aid to attend public institutions free of charge. Also, college is already free for many low-income students, and despite having a much lower financial burden, many of them still drop out of school. A New York Times report states that despite having free tuition, just 33% of students from the bottom income bracket who started at a community college in 2003 finished a degree by 2009. Surprisingly, two-year students from the top income bracket didn't do much better either, with only a 42% graduation rate. Also, there is no correlation between tuition costs and decreased rates of enrollment. A study conducted by Monroe Community College in 2012 confirmed that there was no relationship between tuition rates and enrollment rates. The study did, however, find that there was a correlation between unemployment rates and enrollment rates, showing that people tend to pursue higher education when there is a difficult job market. It shows that despite having free tuition or being rich and being able to pay for it that way, it has minimal effect on people pursuing higher education in the United States. Making community college tuition free would barely even affect the lower 25% of the population, because in California, for example, it is actually rare that a low-income family would have to pay the cost of tuition in full. All this would do is increase taxes on the middle class in exchange for overcrowded schools and almost no positive effect on the success of students. Lastly, they claimed that free college tuition would provide access to universities to people who had no chance of attending in the past, and would probably improve graduation rates. However, providing free community college tuition would in fact not improve graduation rates, since the data shows that many enrollees already drop out of school as it is now. According to the most recent National Student Clearinghouse data, a staggering 47.3% of community college students end up dropping out of school without earning any type of degree. In fact, other research shows that academic completion rates actually fall the less students pay toward the cost, hinting that free tuition may raise already high dropout rates. Also, college attainment is higher in developed countries that charge tuition compared to those that hand it out for free. Research by the Manhattan Institute shows us that total college attainment among citizens is higher in countries that charge tuition than those that don't. Countries that charge tuition are Japan, the UK, and the United States, and they have attainment rates of 59%, 48%, and 46%. In countries that don't charge any tuition at all are Germany and Italy, and they have attainment rates of 28% and 24%. These statistics show that simply removing the financial barrier does not guarantee success for students, and the number of college-educated citizens will probably not increase either.